Seminole Chant is the title of our next tune, and the skill in Seminole Chant is to skip fingers. So we go from the note G to E. Mr. Reinhardt, is it possible to get a little bit more volume? Thank you. Our next tune, called Lightly Row, is also a sticker tune, and this tune gets us playing A's in addition to the G's, the F sharps, the E's, and the D's that we've already been working on. Now we turn our page and we start to learn some A string notes. We've been working on the D string for most of this last couple of songs, and now we add the A string notes, and we add the note high D, so now we can play within an octave range. As I mentioned just a moment ago, we now have an octave range. We have 8 notes that we can play in succession. And so we do that and we practice that by playing a scale. So this is the D major scale, and we're going to play 3 times on each note, on the way up and on the way down. Flip a few more pages in our book, and we get to the tune Dreidel. Dreidel is a neat one in the succession because it's now a 3-line song, so we're building our endurance, and we get to use almost all of the notes that we've worked on so far. This is the Dreidel song. I was able to introduce myself, Mr. Mosley, at the beginning of our program. I have one more introduction to make, actually two more introductions to make. Out in the audience, way in the back, is Mr. Stoddaker. He is a retired high school orchestra teacher here. He's been helping out at the middle school with the Campbell and Lincoln Park kiddos because there's just so many of them there. So it's an awesome problem for us to have. But Mr. Stoddaker, if you could stand up in the back. There he is, in the Thank you for your help. And then next to me is Andrea Gardner. She's a high school student, she's a senior, and we have the opportunity at the high school to have what we call an orchestra leadership class. So she is interested in working with children, and so this is a chance for her to get her feet wet doing that. So she gets to help out at the high school with our Ross Park and Churchill kids. So thank you, Andrea. The next couple things that we worked on were called rosin wraps. And rosin is the substance that we get to put on our bows to make our bow hair sticky, that make the sound come out of our instrument. But up until this point, most students have not used their bow very much, and so they come without a whole lot of rosin on it. So we have these exercises that we can actually put rosin on our bow, plus learn the bow direction. So we've got down bows and up bows coming in our rosin wraps. We have 3 of them. This is rosin wrap number 1. I know it seems really goofy just to move the bow down and up, but actually since our instruments are such a visual thing, we can see when sound is coming out of the instrument because our bows are moving. It's kind of important to be able to make that motion together. This is rosin wrap number 2. And rosin wrap number 3. We turn a couple pages in our book and we get to the first songs that don't have letters written in the note heads. We're starting to learn how to read the real deal notes. And so the first tune that we get to do that in is Jingle Bells. no notes in the notehead, or no letters in the noteheads, is Old MacDonald. You'll hear some unique sounds coming out of our orchestra here, and we have a couple rests. So Old MacDonald had a farm. This next tune is a must-learn for all beginning string players. In our book, it's titled Mozart Melody, but you'll recognize it as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The interesting thing about this one, as well as practicing our notes, practice reading our notes, is we get to talk a little bit about patterns and how similar lines are played the same, and then we are able to learn a tune quicker because we can find those patterns. Jump quite a bit in our book next because we skipped over learning how to use our bow because we actually started it sooner than what our book tells us to do. So we're old pros at that. And so we jump straight ahead to a tune called Tribal Lament. And in Tribal Lament, we actually pick our bow up off of the string to do what we call a bow lift. So this is one of those skills that keeps us in the right direction with our bows, the ups and the downs. And so we're going to practice a bow lift right now and make sure we can do that without a crash and landing. So pull that bow, lift it up, set it down, and then we're ready to go for that repeat. This is Tribal Lament. This next one a little earlier, and we did it in groups of threes, and now we're going to do it in groups of twos. Still working on the D major scale, and we're going to make our way up in groups of two. set of tunes, Hot Cross Buns, we did in different speeds. You may have noticed that all of the tunes we've done so far have been the same basic pulse. Now we get to change the pulse a little bit, and we have some words associated with that, some Italian words that we will always find at the very beginning of a piece to know how quickly we have to have that pulse go. So the first speed for Hot Cross Buns is andante, a slow speed. We ramp up the speed just a bit, and now do it a moderato tempo, or medium speed. And everyone's favorite speed, allegro, fast. Turn a couple more pages, and we've made it to our last song of the morning. This is Ode to Joy. The fun thing about Ode to Joy is it encompasses a lot of what we've already done. It's kind of a capstone piece where we're now reading the notes out of our book. We've got our bows going in the correct direction. We have a lot of different rhythms added into this one, a rhythm that we haven't played yet for you today, the half note rhythm. And so with all of that rhythm and note reading and bows going the right direction, we have Ode to Joy for you for our last piece today. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and also thanks parents for having kids be a part of this. This is a really special thing for us to be able to do first thing in the morning, have excited and very good young string players ready to play. And so we do appreciate you and appreciate them taking the extra effort to be part of this. We have our buses that will arrive a little bit later to take your student to school if you'd like them to continue on with the normal routine of the morning. We're going to keep them on the stage just for a little bit if you'd like to have a photo opportunity with your student this morning. And then we'll send them into the back room to get their things packed up for the day. And if you'd like to drive them to school today, you're welcome to do that too. We just ask that you check with us so that we know that that's how your kids get to school this morning. So we wish you a very happy Christmas season, holiday season, and thanks so much.